Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Hope we're all doing incredibly well. If we're not, why not? It's gonna be fun. We're gonna have a good vibe. There we go. Everything is working now. I'm gonna make the music go away because the music tends to be a little bit on the loud side. Sorry about that one. Yeah, hope we're all doing well. Hope we are happy and fine and good and all those kind of things. 1 second. I just need to do a little copy pasty on a thing that I have now lost. Well done, me. God. Basically, I've been stupid, which is spectacular. There we go. Right, same as. Right. So, this stream, as you will be able to see from the title of the stream, is primarily to sort of discuss the new kit stuff. Now, there have been a lot of leaks in recent weeks. That was a nice little rhyme, and it wasn't on purpose, but I'm going to roll with it. That have covered all sorts of looks and feels and everything. However, a line that a lot of people say is, I'm not going to trust anything until I see it on shelves. Well, would you folks believe it? The Leeds United kit has in fact been seen on shelf at this point, which is absolutely wonderful, and that should silence a few people. Specifically, the information behind the image that everyone has seen is that it was a picture taken of the Leeds United store because they rolled all the banners down, but there were still some gaps in the banner things, which meant that if you reach right, you could take a picture of the kits, which is completely fair enough. Like, I understand it. It's quite clever. Also, it's really, really warm. So, sorry, I'm going to have to pat myself down because I can see that I've got glare coming off my face, and I don't like it. Oh, I'm melting. Because I've got a really hot PC that the fans are not really working. I shut the office door when I'm doing recordings, and I've got the window shut because outside earlier were screaming children, and currently are some shouting adults. So we'll roll with it. We want long sleeve shirts. I've always been on the fence about long sleeve shirts. I quite like them on a goalkeeper, but beyond that, it's not really grabbed me because like it's a sport you play in the summer quite a bit. So I've never been a sort of long sleeve shirt kind of guy. But this is the rough look of the kit. Oh, look at that! It's in the way of meat. There we go. Look at that. That's a kit. So the specific details of it are not super visible on that image, I believe. But you'll notice here on the sleeve, that's where the Lowfields tile pattern is, and it's also around here on the neck. So you've got Lowfields tiles, and that's the broad look and feel of the kit, and I genuinely rather like it. A lot of people are going to have the standard sort of complaints about the kit being the balls are red. Yeah, like let's be honest here, and we're going to have to be at some point. The balls are red because the company name is Red Bull. And whilst we would all love there to be no red on the Leeds United shirt because it's significantly more hello, only Leeds bros. I hope you guys are doing well. And this is what I'm specifically referring to, right? So there was a conversation going on in the chat of only Leeds Bros' stream, which is why I was a little bit late because I like watching their stuff because they make good stuff. Go and watch only Leeds Bros. A lot of people's issue with Red Bull as a sponsor is it's got red in the name and the color is red. I would like to bring up a shirt to you, but also simultaneously sort of explain there's a pretty good reason that it's a. Hold on, this is also the one that's a slightly better picture. Right, hold on, I'll present that. That one. There we go. That's the look of the kit. And honestly, I kind of like it. It's a subtle tribute to the Lowfields Tunnel, which is never going to be a problem for me because referring to sort of club culture and all that kind of stuff is fine by me. Thank you very much for the super chat, GP26. Much appreciated. I am doing pretty well. Could have been better, but various bits and bobs going on. But to dive into sort of the ongoing conversation and stuff that is going on with the idea of the red, A, the company's called Red Bull. You're not going to get rid of that. And B, I think we were relatively lucky not having the balls in red on the away kit last season. I don't know if they'll continue to do that. It'd be nice if they did. But they're well within their rights to use whatever colours they want. They are significantly keeping us within FFP, and at the same time, on at least like a kit, at least the main kit that is the one that Leeds are known for, you're gonna sort of want your actual logo on there rather than a version of the logo on this shirt. Them being blue, very, very nice. On what is rumoured to be the away shirt this season, would be very, very nice to have it sort of yellow and a slightly different blue or something like that. Maybe a white for the Sun, yellow for the Blues. Yellow for the Blues? No, yellow for the Bulls. Yellow for the Blues would be absolutely wild. But yeah, orange Bulls. Look, I'm not convinced on orange Bulls. If you're saying that because your name pops up in orange, absolutely disagreed. Leeds back in the Premier Red Bull get their way. They'd get their way anyway. It's how sponsorship deals work, and it always is, and it always has been, and it always will be. Like that's how it is. And we have played in red before, so specifically the reason I brought up this tab was to look through Leeds United kits. So if I go to Leeds kit history and I scroll, if we're being honest with ourselves, it's a bit red, innit? However, it's a bit red in a kit that we all liked, and anyone that looks at that kit thinks the same thing. Everyone looks at that kit thinks, oh, Rafinha. And we've got good memories with this kit, which means that everyone's like, that one's okay. It's still functionally a red kit, which is, I'm no designer. White can be a dodgy colour. If it's a white team shirt with white fish scale patterns, it look fire. Leads always go back to winning designs. So a lot of people's issue with the kits recently has been they're a very samey design. The counterpoint to that is, I don't know how you have a white shirt that isn't a samey design, because we've got it in the club's culture that we play in white. We are the whites, all that kind of stuff. So any variance on that feels like it gets sort of called out significantly. Like one of the best kits in recent years, in my opinion, was the season we didn't go up from the championship that went blue, yellow, blue. Very simple shirt. Enjoyed it. No sleeve trim, but I quite like a bit of sleeve trim. And then nothing else outside of that. And it was a pretty damn nice kit. That was an accidental click, but that's fine. Last season's was broadly the same as the season before, which admittedly had a lot of yellow trim on it, but last season's was just blue, and it had the Adidas flares up the side, but that's what Adidas templates looked like last season, so it was fine. There's a faction in the fan base. A faction is the wrong word, but it's sort of also the right word. Who say like we should have a kit that is just all white, and you maybe have the manufacturer here, you maybe have the club here, and you maybe have the sponsor. But other than that, all white. I'll be honest, and this is, you see, you're using the thinking that I used when I was designing the third shirt for the charity match, the burgundy one. But I'm not one of the people that thinks that the entire kit needs to be white for one simple reason. And that simple reason is the club's history. And that might feel like it's a bit of like a wanky statement or something daft like that. But I've got an argument behind this, a genuinely quite good argument behind this. And I like that when... 1 second. Got a sneeze and it's halfway out. Oh. Thanks, guys. And it's that I quite like when kits reference a club's past. So specifically, really, really good kits from recent years that people liked. This one, obviously, we love a yellow kit. This is just known. People were a massive fan of this one for obvious reasons. It's just a really, really nice kit, and it referenced an old one. I think, was that the Thistle Hotels one? Probably. The reason that I like the blue stripes on the sleeve is specifically a club history related one. I've got to scroll a long way for this. Sorry about that. And that is that in the earliest years of Leeds United, we played in a kit that was white with blue stripes. And whilst in like the 50s, not 50s, sort of like Reeve era, like 60s, 70s sort of time, the Reeve era was sort of like, right, okay, it's white now. We're going to emulate Real Madrid. They are serial winners. If we do that, we will also become serial winners. But I like the sort of harking back to the past of it, specifically the sort of whitey, bluey kit. And interestingly, this is why I think that Adidas is sort of the perfect shirt manufacturer for us, because 3 stripes up here is kind of perfect. 3 blue stripes, reminiscent of the early kits, because it... Okay, this is me testing my knowledge of early Leeds United history, and if I'm wrong, someone call me out on it. But I've researched similar to this for a YouTube short that I'm going to be making in a little while. But off the top of my head, in the very, very, very early days of Leeds United, we were financially knacked. Like, Leeds City had gone, we had become Leeds United, and we had a very, very small budget, because of course you do, because, like, what was originally Leeds City, all of our players had been, like... There's a fly on my arm. All of our players had been taken to a hotel in the middle of Leeds. Which specifically was it? Hold on. I've not got the name of the hotel, but all of the players were auctioned off to other teams, which meant that the Football Association kept the money, not Leeds. So we ended up, if I remember right, lending some kits from Huddersfield. But I'm going to have to double check that. Do I record that video on stream? We're meant to be joined with Huddersfield. That was one of the early thoughts. Yeah. It's not the early thought that we went with, but there it is. Leeds' predecessor, Leeds City, was formed in 1904, elected to the league in 1905. Herbert Chapman arrived in 1912. In 1919, something happened to cause the club to disband. If you already know this, shush. No spoilers, because I'm going to do a YouTube short on that. I might record that tonight at some point and then release it in the morning, maybe. But I've got another video that I was going to release in the morning. I'll work something out. But when that YouTube short does come out, please can you guys do me a favor and click on it, but like let it run a couple of times through, because when that happens, the algorithm goes, oh my god, that's fantastic. On the subject of the algorithm going, oh my god, that's fantastic, please pop a like on the stream and subscribe. Thank you. Because for every subscriber full-time in the charity match on the 20th, I'm donating an extra 1p to Prostate Cancer UK. As I keep saying, make me broke. But allegations of things meant that the club broke up. At Salem Chapel in 1919, Leeds was formed. They received an invitation to enter the Midland League, which is a bit weird. Voted into it on the 31st of October 1919, taking the place vacated by Leeds City reserves. We took our own reserve. Why? Oh, right, sorry. I'm imagining that Leeds City reserves were also disbanded. And we were just like, we've got a replacement right here, and just went for it. But we'll get onto it. The chairman of Huddersfield Town, Hilton Crowther, loaned Leeds United £35,000 to be repaid when Leeds won promotion to the First Division. He brought in former Barnsley manager Arthur Fairclough, taking charge on the 26th of February 1920, replacing Dick Ray. Yeah, so hence Huddersfield links. They helped us financially early on, and that's why I don't mind the blue stripes on the shoulder. I know a lot of people do, but we've also heard word of what the other kits will be looking like. If I can find them where I shared them, I do not know. This is what we like to call a problem. I can't find it. Where was that third shirt? What chat did I send it in? It's somewhere. I can't remember where, but I sent it somewhere. Third one is very, very black as far as I'm aware. I'm going to keep hunting for this because I quite like it. Where's the picture? There it is. I'll just save it as there we go. Charcoal and gold is the way to do it. Okay, this is roughly what the third kit will look like. I'll lean this way, so when I bring it up, it doesn't hide my face. There we... Oh, shit, it does anyway. There we go. And that's quite nice. I really like that kit. I think I'll end up getting that one. And then the second one is a throwback to the blue and yellow one, which I think could be nice and pretty. I'm really, really looking forward to that. But anyway, I'm going to hide this kit now so I don't have to keep on leaning. But charcoal and gold, I really like this one. If we're able to actually have it, that would be wonderful. But this one is more of a rumour than the one that I've had a quick look at already. Joe, are you the first Leeds content creator to break the early morning kidnap of Diarra in Sunderland? I think so, but that was because I was working at the time anyway. It was something like 2 in the morning. Fabrizio Romano did a tweet, and I was like, oh. So did the stream. And because for some reason recording wasn't working, which was always wonderful, but now it is, so it's all okay. What I'm going to do, I'm going to hop over to YouTube Studio just to make sure that things are actually going okay. Whoever subscribed a minute ago, thank you. And I'm going to check what the stream is doing because I was in the wrong place. Analytics. There's the analytics. Right. Black's going to be a pig on a stifling hot day. It could be, but then again, like it's designed to sort of wick sweat away, so it should be okay. So, do you like the leaked home kit? That'll be a simple yes, no. I'm kind of curious what the vibe is on this one, so let me know. Pop it in the chat. That'd be absolutely wonderful. Not going to be streaming for super long because I've got work after this. But sorry, I have at the store. The new store open tomorrow. They planned for it. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure when the kit is supposed to be getting released. Relatively soon is my thinking, but I don't know the sort of specific time frame. What I thought I saw was that it would be first week of July, but the way that I had that was that it would be on the first week of July would be the away kit. Because as far as I'd heard from a couple of different places, it was going to be the away kit that we played against Scum in Stockholm. Which, honestly, that would be absolutely wonderful. I would not mind that in the slightest. But it's a complicated one, I think. I'm not entirely sure. How's your knee and other injuries? I refuse to give intel when I believe that some of the only Leeds Bros folks are potentially in the chat. That would potentially cause a problem. So, the main Formula 1 results. I am not going to spoil that for people. Because if people haven't watched the race yet, then I don't want to be the person that ruins it, you know? I like being a spoiler-friendly kind of guy. Being a chill kind of dude. So, I'm going to give you all a little spoiler as well of what is coming up next on the channel, which is hopefully going to be something that people have a little bit of an interest in. I wasn't one of the first people to discuss the... right, is it born out or is it born off? YouTube, help me. Pronounce Bornau. Here we go. Admittedly, this only has 25 views, but we'll find out how it goes, won't we? Let's send it to here. That'll do.
Bornau.
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 Bornau. That'll do. I reckon I've got Bornau down. Yeah, the idea is tomorrow, because I wasn't one of the first people to announce that we're signing Bornau. However, There's been some interesting little tactical discussion analysis stuff on him, so I'm going to do something along the lines of this. Leeds United's new signing is a massive tactical win, because I think there is a lot of discussion to be had around the specifics in terms of what this signing looks like for us going forward. Very much looking forward to it. But we'll have to see, I suppose. I wouldn't mind, I don't know. But at the same time, if you guys could pop along to a video like that, that'd be massively appreciated. Because, and this is like one of the most annoying things on YouTube, right? So I'm gonna do a quick look at my YouTube analytics. I can't show you guys because I don't think YouTube allows me to do that. But the video that I did on Lucas Perry, very, very good goalkeeper. Very, very much looking forward to us potentially signing him. Did well. 4.46 thousand views, which is pretty damn nice. Like, I will absolutely take that. But it was a very low effort video. It was a video that I did the research, filmed it in one take, popped it out. Fantastic. I don't even think that I used any ends of sentences. Where the fuck was that going? There we go. I don't think that had any banners or like responded to any comments. I think that was just that. 4.46 thousand views, which is nice. And then the Every Leeds United Transfer Rumour Explained, which took like significantly longer. 1.4 thousand. Vastly underperformed. And it's like, YouTube, friend, buddy, pal. The stuff that I put the time into, you're not pushing to people. The stuff that I don't put the time into gets pushed to people, and that's fine. I like some of the stuff is pushed to people. But also, YouTube is stupid. Bastard. Absolute bastard. And I'm going to talk in a very upper class voice. Because if I don't, then I will find another voice. I don't know what voice, but I'm not going to do Gudmundsson because that will just turn into the Swedish chef. That's not necessarily a good call, but... Right, where are we? I'm going to get a little bit of an eye on stuff. Asking if they've got it planned for tomorrow. I think it's meant to be on the 4th of July when all the shops are open. Is that when all the shops are reopening? Because if it is, that makes sense. Like, it'll be a rejig to get all of the shirts out. We posted all on the Leeds webpage if it was tomorrow. Which Leeds webpage? Are you on about the Leeds United website? Because they tend to just like drop it. I like that black shirt with red in the Red Bull logo. I'm not one of those that gets mad over saying bullet crap because skim off a red shirt. Yeah, it's fair enough. Like, to each our own. I don't think we've become obsessed with height. I think centre backs are tall. They just are. That's what happens. And the fact that we signed a couple of tall centre backs, people are taking more meaning from that than there is, which is a bit weird. I've heard who the left back were in for supposedly big money will be spent on him. I don't know who you're meaning. I'll be honest with you. Let's not do half and half shirts. No. New striker to model, then you could be good. Oh, you want Nemecha to do it? Okay. Yes, it's the one with the tiles. I don't mind it. I think it looks kind of nice. Shows a lack of creativity and ambition. Who this doesn't? What do you mean? Hope this doesn't rub off on transfers. There we go. Hope. I mean, to be fair, like, it's a white shirt. A lot of people are saying that it doesn't show that much ambition. What would you do? Because realistically, the shirt is mostly white. If you're going into, like, hold on 1 second. At the end of the day, right, this is the colour scheme that you're working with. Mainly white, a little bit of blue, and a touch of yellow if you're feeling a bit fancy. You can't do much with that. So it's either all white or it's white with a little bit of trim. And I think when it's nice enough and original enough, and it refers to the sort of culture enough to fit in quite nicely. Are these signings of real contempt? Not like WoW signings, are they? Let's be honest. Yeah, but that's because they don't need to be right now. We're building a squad for our stay in the Premier League. We're not building a first 11 right now. We are in the background, but they've not been announced yet. There's no one saying that our starting centre back pairing is going to be be all and born out, and we're going to start with Nemetra up top, because we're just not. That's not the way it's going to be. We've just not gotten to the big money signings quite yet, because let's be honest, there's one day until the PSR deadline. Let's remember that this time last year we were shitting ourselves because Archie Gray was leaving, because he needed to, because this little mini transfer deadline, which signals the end of the PSR period, means that tomorrow the big money moves are going to come in. But in the immediate term, we can make the smaller stuff happen. And it just sort of makes sense. Like, from a PSR position, at least we're not in the same place that Aston Villa are, where they're having to... What was it? They sold their women's team to a... It was either a holding company or, like, some weird investment brand. And it's like, we're in a better position than that. We're not having to sell various club assets to various different places out of desperation. We're doing better than Villa from a looking after your FFP point of view, which is especially impressive considering the position we were in. Also, if you haven't popped a like on the stream yet, please do so. Sometimes I'm going to drop in the little lines and it's going to go well, but who knows? Hope the job's going well. The job is going stressful. I've got a shift tonight that starts at midnight, and depending on extra time and weather delays, which could be significant, ends at potentially 7 in the morning, which is going to be fun. Get feedback on your life. I've not seen the comments yet. I've not had a chance to look, but I will do. Thank you for letting me know. New centre backs give us the aerial threat that we've missed. Maybe we've got some tall boys, but these ones are at least fairly good at winning headers and have evidence of being good at doing so. If you did it as like a percentage of aerials won, then I think it's a better stat to use, because this is just a matter of how many aerials do you need to go for. English accent, lovely. In exchange for everyone sounding American. I'm not going to go receive pronunciation again, because that's a little bit BBC. And then you're reporting from Alexandra Palace, and you sound like you're about to say that the Suez Crisis is ongoing and we're not going to Vietnam. But we're moving away from the 60s and the 70s. The Suez Crisis, however, is where we fought against the French, so maybe this is part of the plan. I do not know. Have you seen that South American side who have a strip like our mid-90s run across the blue-yellow? Is that Boca? It sounds like Boca Juniors. I watched one of their matches the other day. Oh, it's a nice kit. That's a very nice kit. Whoa, look at that. Hold on. Share that tab instead. It's quite nice, isn't it? It's a nice shirt. It's that or the home shirt, which is, yeah, except the cookies, whatever. This one. But you're probably referring to the away one, I guess. But I'm not doing an Argentinian accent, because I don't trust myself with an Argentinian accent. I have a funny feeling Lee's going to hold some funds back till the January window. No rhyme or reason, just a hunch. That's fair enough. But then again, we don't really do the January window at all anyway. So whilst you have said no rhyme or reason, that's some wild rhyming and reasoning. My memory is poor, so I can't recollect the team, even though I saw it an hour ago. It might be the Boca one that you're talking about. I don't know. Late at the party, but all whites have been good enough for Real. Yeah. But then again, we're not Real Madrid. And I mean that in a positive way, because plus they're not all white. They've got gold stripes or black stripes or something on the shoulders. But the fundamental difference between us and Real Madrid is Leeds as a club have been, for the majority of our history, relatively anti-establishment. We've always had the sort of dirty Leeds tag or the Leeds scum tag or all of that kind of stuff. Whereas, hold on. Let's have a look at the name of this famous boy. There we go. Has anyone heard the tale of a wonderful man? I say a wonderful man. I say one of history's dickheads. By the name of Francisco Franco, the Spanish dictator. Let's have a little bit of a read. Real Madrid's relationship with Franco and his regime are complex, controversial, seen as the favoured club, etc., etc., etc. Franco's support. Franco and his regime openly favoured Real Madrid, viewing the club as a symbol of Spanish unity and power, obviously against Barcelona because they were a Catalan side. Propaganda tool. Their success was used by the regime to project an image of a strong and united Spain. In contrast, Barca were seen as a club associated with the Catalan nationalism movement and were targeted by the regime. While Franco's support is undeniable, some argue that Real Madrid's success was primarily due to strong squad and management, and that Franco's influence was exaggerated. Quick note, Real Madrid likely had a lot of money as a result of Franco. Clubs response to distance themselves from Franco, which you probably would, considering, the whole dictator thing. Yeah. Basically, big favoritism from the big dictator man. The big dictator man, who... You see, he's one of those that kind of gets away with it. Like, in the grand scheme of history. And the stream has changed topics now, as you may have noticed. It's only temporary. We will go back to Leeds. But if you're looking like historically and over the years, isn't it a little bit weird that you're like, Hitler, bad. I'm getting so demonetized on this video. Mao, bad. Stalin, bad. Someone give me another dictator. Kim Jong-un, bad. They all are bad, to be clear. And then you've got Franco, who is just sort of vibing, running the country from 1936 to 1975 as a complete dictator. But because he didn't get involved in the Second World War and he wasn't a part of the Cold War, he just kind of got away with it. That's nuts. That's so weird to me. I don't understand it. Farke can't believe Charlie Crystal's a two-time winner of the European Cup, the under-21s European Cup. Let's come on. Let's put it together. Anyway, Franco chat done. Have you ever thought for a laugh to do an artificial intelligence vlog? What do you mean artificial intelligence vlog? I don't know. Yeah, only just here. Which Colin leaked? Only Lowfield collar or Lowfield chest stripe? Collar and sleeve trim. The chest stripe I don't think is real, given that the one earlier was, if I find it again. There we go. Hanging up on the shelves at the club shop. So that's the one that I'm going to lean with being real, I believe. Yes, but I don't think we should go all white for obvious reasons. To keep our fans happy, I suggest Red Bull shrink the logo so it barely covers a nipple. They could do what with the bloody hell, Sheila, you're really fucking this. There we go. They could do what Paddy Power did with Huddersfield and just say, no, actually, what we're going to do the Save Our Shirts thing, no sponsor on this one, and just white. That'd be lovely, but it's quite a hard sell. But it's hard to do one that isn't. That's the thing, it is white. It's a white shirt, and it's just the trim that changes, and there is no variance in that because there can be no variance in that. Are shirts synonymous with successful spells, or is there no correlation? I think to say it's correlation is wild. Because, well, to say there's causation would be wild. Because there isn't. Like, a shirt is a shirt, it doesn't affect the players. But, I don't know. Paul Pot, he was bad, yep. There's no adverts tonight. That's weird. Because they should be on. Okay. Who knows? We'll find out. To reclaim my point wasn't nothing to do with politics or dictators, just a team that widely seen as quite good. That's true. Yeah, I get that. I'm not accusing you of being a Francoist, to be completely clear. But yeah, that's the general vibe. Not for sale, but hiding in the shadows, ready to come out. But there's clearly a load of them printed, and it's very consistent. And I've given it a look over with the "is this AI" kind of eyes, and there's no sort of signs of that. So, but also yes, everyone pop a like on the stream. It's good for. It's weird, right, to phrase it, because when it comes to algorithm stuff, the algorithm is on your end. It's on the end of the viewer. So we just sort of go into it, pop up a video, and from that point, we can do a decent title, thumbnail, description, tags, all that kind of stuff. But beyond that, we don't have the capacity to influence anything. Liking the stream instead affects what you and other viewers get recommended. So, for example, if enough people like the stream, then people that watch similar stuff to the people that like the stream will get it pushed out to them if they didn't before, which is really, really, really useful. But yeah, it does help a tad. Yeah, I just thought I'd go into a little bit more detail on how it works behind the scenes. It wasn't meaning shirts helping and aiding players. I meant purely by the eye we tend to. Yeah. I think it's sort of coincidence, but a fun coincidence. When's it come out, and where was that photo posted? A few different places. I'm assuming it was on Twitter. I got it through a couple of WhatsApp chats. In terms of when it comes out, I believe this week or next week for the home one, because I thought from what I'd heard it was going to be the away kit then the home kit, but if it's the other way around, then that's fine. Of course, I can do. It will be something like this. I know, it's terrifying. It's a white shirt. Yeah, it's got the low fieldsy design going on the sleeve, but also on the collar, which should be kind of pretty. I quite like it. I don't mind it. I know a lot of people do, but I'm more than happy with it. On the topic of being more than happy with things, I am going to recommend that we head over to Questions Corner. So if anyone wants to have a little bit of a chat about absolutely anything and everything, chuck your questions in the chat now. I'll get to them, and we'll have a little bit of sort of wide open general discussion, which should be quite good. We played regularly in all red shirts in the 70s. Let's go over it. Why? Right, okay. Any evidence for this? Because it has backing from a lot of very, very similar photo from various different directions, and it would be very, very hard to stage multiple different photos from multiple different people from multiple different angles. Like that, at that point, you've got a lot of pictures, you've got a lot of kits. Someone faking that would be like nuts. It's a lazy shirt. It'd be better if the pattern was on each side. What do you mean if the pattern was on each side? Because I'm assuming it goes all the way around the sleeve, which is both side. But I don't know what you mean. I'll be honest. Was it? Okay. That's nice. Is Crystal getting involved in the Content Creators Cup? It depends. We're currently in a position of we don't know, because there is a situation that means she may not be able to make it, which is unfun, because I would rather like her to be able to make it along. Yeah, I will know in the next few days, and I will work something out around that. But in the immediate term, can't tell you. The plan is to have her in the sort of. What do you mean only one shirt with logo? What? Hold on. Well, yeah, because the ones behind it don't have the logo bit present. I don't know how else that would work. I'm very confused. But the idea is, if she can make it, then it'll be in a sort of pitch-side interviewee role, which will be absolutely wonderful. But if that can't happen, then that's fine, I suppose. We'll work something out around it. Either way, she'll be doing something to watch and support the event. So for the YouTube chat, the idea is as a moderator. But if it can't be more, then that's a little bit of a shame. Bornow, good signing. I believe so. I will get into it in a little bit more detail in the video that I do tomorrow morning, which I think should be pretty good. I'm checking on that for you now, Stephen. Just to double check on numbers. Sorry, I meant if the pattern on the sleeve or on the side of the shirt, if only Leeds fans had our design. Yeah, I don't know. There's also the weird stuff of like you can't break certain guidelines for various reasons, and it's a little bit stupid. So there's all kinds of nonsense that goes into the back end of this. Like I'm someone that is working in a corporate football-y setting right now, and the number of hoops that you need to jump through on any given day, nuts. So it's yeah. I don't know. I like it enough. Is the position that I'm going to take on it. I had a fly on my hand for a second there, I think. So talk to Connor about it. Again, he's injured and can't play. That's completely fine. That's all good. Also, let's not call people Voldemort. There's no need. On the cagey front, I've heard nothing back. But again, we might be having a pitch-side interviewer role coming up at some point soon. So welcome on in if you fancy it. If anyone is consistently in Cagey's chat, let me know. We'll maybe see if we can make something happen. In terms of ticket sales, they're chugging along. They're doing all right. We are having them up for sale on the day of the event, which if people fancy popping along, you can absolutely do so. That'd be massively appreciated. And hopefully we get a very, very nice crowd. But we'll see. By the way, if you've not got a ticket yet, down below, you can pop to the link, leedscreatorcup.com, and then navigate to the ticket buying section or the donation section. Both perfectly good. But who knows? Where are we? Concord with Ramsdale and Pope, or is either of them still a possibility? I would prefer Perry, I'll be honest. Ramsdale, I don't fancy. 25 million quid is a lot for a goalkeeper that I think is decent, but I don't think he's 25 million pounds. Beyond that, Pope, maybe, but it depends on Trafford getting done first. You're right, the designer of the Peacock said so on the Square Ball interviews. I know, that's where I got it from. I'm keeping an eye out, Pete. It's okay. That's because Andy very, very, very consistently does the same things, including calling someone Voldemort. So when it comes to that, it's sort of like, well, we know. Also, I don't like that. I can see the ring light in the reflection. It's look at that. I got a little, and you can see my camera's like microphone up here. You can see the camera. That's look at that. Oh, camera. Anyway, what I'm going to do in a couple of minutes, I will bring the stream to a close, and it will be a lovely time. I'll do the recording for the video I'm doing in the morning. It will be spectacular, and hopefully we'll all watch it and we have more news and all the fun stuff. But yeah, that'll be lovely fun. Nemetra's already been announced. That's already happened. He wasn't, if I remember right. He was wearing a hoodie or something. They've very, very tactically not had anyone in a football shirt yet. Which, I mean, it makes sense because we've not done the shirt reveal yet, which is sort of annoying. Like, it feels like the shirt reveal should have come a while back, but I guess it's still going to be a case of finding sponsors for the sleeve, which I don't know anything about. I saw someone ask that question earlier, but I realized that I forgot to answer it. So, but anyway, Gonna leave the stream there for now. Hope you all enjoyed. If you did, pop a like on it. That's massively appreciated. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Again, every subscriber that I've got at full time in the charity match is another 1p going to Prostate Cancer UK. So you're basically giving to charity by just clicking something, which is spectacular. His contract runs out tomorrow. It does, but he's already been announced by the club as joining on the 1st of July. So you could also become a channel member. You get a bunch of videos and stuff nice and early, which should be wonderful and fun. There is no one going live soonish, so that's a little bit of a shame. 51% of you to close out the poll like the leaked home kit, which is wonderful. And yeah, anyway, hope you all enjoyed. I will see you later. Toodaloo, amigos.